Hello, everybody, and welcome back to part 6 and 7 of my responses to Maj0r Lee's Last Jedi is amazing and you are all insane video. And, yeah, I've only gotten through 9 minutes of it, despite having 5 videos already posted about it. Yeah, I still got a ways to go. Still got a ways to go, but anyway, thank you guys. Just a disclaimer, not a disclaimer, just for all the guys who actually do watch. Thank you guys so much for watching. Because those videos have gotten a lot of good watch time and a lot of views. I know people don't like them, but don't press the like button on them. But I don't care as long as they're hitting views. That's great, And if you guys would leave some constructive criticism, I would greatly appreciate it, so I can do better in the future when it comes to these type of things. But anyway, let's get back into this thing and try to get more done.
Skywalker, the only man that matters. That was correcting our flaw as fans for obsessing over how Luke is depicted as if he's Jesus and Muhammad incarnate, holding him up to way too high of a standard that no living human being can relate to. When really 30 years later in the Star Wars universe, once that myth blew over and people wised up over time, he's just a dude who had the Force, like anyone can. But that similar message about getting...
Okay, that's kind of dumb. You see, Luke had a simple relatability to him. He was the like Lamar Campbell said, he was the orphan discovery. He was, he was the hero. He was the hero of a three-part story. All right, there's a reason why Luke's story is called part of the hero's journey, because it is part of the hero's journey. I don't know how many times I have to explain this. I don't know how many times this dude's got to repeat this point about Luke Skywalker every 5 fucking seconds, and why I have to do it in response to him every 5 fucking seconds. But here we go. I do not understand why people think that Luke was this overpowered dude who just happened to have the Force. That is not what Luke Skywalker was, and not how he was represented. Luke had a relatability to him because we were able to see his day-to-day life in The New Hope. We were able to see how everything was going on around him. He wanted to change the world. He wanted to make something with his life. Right? That gave a certain level of relatability to him, especially in a situation where he just couldn't do anything to get out of what he was doing. He wanted to leave, but he couldn't because he had his family. And then once they died, the audience empathized with him and now wanted to get revenge against the Empire for killing his family. Okay? And by the time Luke, wised up, trained with Yoda, and then defeated Vader and the Emperor and Return of the Jedi, a lot of people really loved that because despite the trials and tribulations that he went through, he was still an optimistic guy at heart. All right, and that's something that a lot of people try to, have. As people always tried to have positive moments in times of great peril. All right, that was one of the things that Luke Skywalker really gave, a voice of reason to. Right, it's one of the reasons why I really empathized with Luke Skywalker as a kid, and why I still empathize with him now, at least from his original interpretation, was the fact that despite all the shit that he went through, despite how bad things could get at times, he was still optimistic about the situation. He still had hope. Alright, and that's why I still love Luke Skywalker to this day. Alright, and comparing him to Space Jesus, of course he's not Space Jesus. Alright, and that's a straw man argument to push your point through. There's, everybody thinks Luke is just Space Jesus and that everything comes to him. And well, considering that it's his story, everything should have come to him. That was kind of the whole point of a main character. You're supposed to be following him, you're supposed to relate to him. So I don't get what he's saying here.
Over your idealizations is also conveyed by Rose to Finn after he marvels at the visual splendor on Canto Bight, just before she reminds him that underneath all that glitz and nostalgia, there's a dark underbelly of greed, addiction.
Greed, addiction to the, considering that, Disney's been cranking sequel after sequel movie for a while now. Star Wars movie every year. How does that not scream out greed? Alright, now I do not think Disney is a very good company when it comes to that type of stuff, alright? I don't think Disney knows how to take particular care of certain series. Circa, i.e., Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy. Well, I think they did a decent job with it. it was just it just seemed like a bunch of ham-handed bullcrap over just just pumping out a sequel to a movie you already made that just got a movie years later, and that's all they really cared about. They didn't try to care about actually trying to help the producers, anyone with the story or anything like that. They just wanted another movie. All right, and Disney does that a lot with their sequels. It's one of the reasons why they're not so kindly looked upon by certain people. And now another thing I hate about this line of logic is that it also ties into the fans are ruining Star Wars type of crap that I absolutely hate coming from people like this. Coming from people who are defending the film, saying that it's always the fans that are ruining stuff. It's not the producers or the people behind the scenes. Though I will concede that, they gave creative control to Rian Johnson, like complete creative control. They didn't interfere with anything he had to say, and the only people who really had something to say about it was people like Mark Hamill, and that was it. To be honest, he was the only real person who had a major problem with everything Rian Johnson wanted in this script. Okay, that's it. All right, and I will concede that because that it had to be you had to clarify on that type of stuff. But this type of thing where it's like the fans just having nostalgia. I mean, wasn't that what a big part of the Force Awakens was? That nostalgia. Do you not remember how everybody freaked about having seen the Millennium Falcon again? People wanting that nostalgia. I was very nostalgic seeing the Falcon again. Right, and I know a lot of people were very very nostalgic about seeing the Millennium Falcon back in Star Wars. Right, that's what a lot of people wanted. Right, seeing Han Solo again, seeing Leia again, seeing Chewbacca again, seeing Luke Skywalker again. People were so nostalgic about it. But one of my major problems with that movie was it was riding on fan nostalgia. If it wasn't for fan nostalgia, I don't think that movie would have been nearly as successful as it could have been. Alright, and it was still one of the biggest box office movies in history, but I mean, all that movie was just it was just, just nostalgia. And that was like a guaranteed box office thing. It was basically kind of fan pandering, and the more I've kind of looked into the stuff with The Force Awakens, I realized it was fan service, okay? The movie was made for fan service. Alright, and while I think there are points to enjoy here and there, I will concede, and it's a decent movie to watch, don't get me wrong, and it's not the worst movie in the series, but it was just fan pandering stuff. And then this guy, who I assume liked The Force Awakens, like a lot, and then, in concession, made the only theory I like about Rey because everybody else's theory is dog shit type of stuff. He was probably ecstatic with joy at The Force Awakens. And, was giggling like a fanboy. Okay, this guy here is just being a major fucking hypocrite when it comes to his opinions and the opinions of the people that, he disagrees with. And, that's just pathetic. Okay, and I know I've probably been hypocritical in the past. Alright, but I've been trying to remedy that. Alright, I'm trying to call out my own behavior when it comes to that, so wait, I'm not trying to set up some stupid double standard. Alright, I don't like that crap. I don't like setting double standards up. And I have been kind of crap when it comes to that, alright? I know some people who, watch my Halo Infinite video were probably, saying you're just gripping with nostalgia because they used Marty O'Donnell's themes. So, well, I was nostalgic, but I was also waiting to see what something new they could do with Halo Infinite. Okay, and this is the thing that I'm trying to convey with the Last Jedi's. When it's just setting a double standard up. Okay, you stop setting double standards up everywhere. And you have more credence lent to your argument. But honestly, that's not what he's doing here. He's just being a douche through and through. And honestly, I don't even think he's trying to hide it. I think he's intentionally trying to be a douche. Okay, now I can agree with being a douche and having good arguments. All right, that's something I actually like about some discussions. Like you can be a douche, but you can have decent civil conversations. You're just being a smartass and stuff. It's like I'm okay with that, but as long as you have the points to back it up. If you don't have the points to back it up and you're just being a douche for the sake of being a douchebag, that's pretty disingenuous.
nostalgia. You know when
Ahem.
someone says that Ryan Johnson ruined Star Wars or he wrecked their childhood? You see that right there? That's a freaking wrecked childhood. This whole scene is just one giant symbol.
Okay, so he basically just said that the entire Canto Bite sequence was a fuck you to the fans, and it was a well-deserved fuck you. Oh, that's fucking rich. That's just fucking rich. Okay, there is many a reason. All right, I'm just gonna go into the reason why I think Canto Bite is just a dumb sequence. All right, I've probably already done this before. I can't exactly remember, but I'm gonna go into it again anyway. There is no reason that on a world where it is basically rich motherfuckers everywhere that have top of the line everything, there is absolutely no discernible reason, no reason at all that they should be having child slaves. Why would they need child slavery? Okay, this isn't the 1920s. Well, not the 1920s. This isn't the second industrial revolution and shit. This isn't, everything before the 1920s in terms of like labor and stuff like that. All right, this is the future. Well, according to the opening title thing of everything is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But they have advanced technology. Why would they have? Why did they need child labor? What? 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 Why would they need it? What's the point of child labor? You have droids, okay? And for those of you who say, well, Tatooine had child labor too, and blah, 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 blah. Tatooine was a world run by a criminal. It was run by criminal scum. They had droids, but they were very low quality. And as Maj0r pointed out in his video, they the they people multiplied out of poverty and lived in slavery as a form of shelter. That was really it. Okay, but this is a casino planet. This is a planet that it was just there, just a rich planet, just planet of rich stuff, just rich, 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 rich. Okay, but why would the rich people need that? Okay, they could have droids, they have everything like that. They even have over the top security that would make the White House blush. So it's just like, why, why, why do you need child labor? Why do you need to? Why do you need that crap? Okay, and I love how Rose says that this is the planet filled with the worst people in the galaxy, and a lot of people believed her. Like, so many people believed her. Alright, out of the people who like the movie. But, I mean, it's like people just forgot about Tatooine. People forgot about the Outer Rim systems. The Outer Rim systems had it much worse than these people. Okay, and just to turn around, and say that the entire sequence on Canto Bight was a reflection of the greed of every Star Wars fan who loved the original movies and, liked the flair and nostalgia of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. That's not only a dumb argument, that is not only a fallacy, that is so disingenuous, it makes my ears bleed hearing him say that. Just, alright, and top that off, the entire sequence on Canto Bight was just a reflection of everybody being anti-capitalist and how capitalists have been the root of all evil forever and stuff like that. That is also super dumb. You not only missed the point of that sequence, which was a dumb point in and of itself, you also tried to strawman it into a sequence and turn it around on the people who didn't like the film because they didn't like the film because they didn't like it for freaking reasons. Fuck.
Most people who saw this film, even the ones that liked it, did not get the point of this Canto Bight side story. In the previous film, Rey and Finn were together for the entire adventure. In this one, they're split up. Rey is obviously being tasked with the most important mission in the galaxy, trying to get Luke back into the fight. But Finn is off doing the exact opposite, a random, far-flung goose chase.
And it was at least he's realizing that it was a far-flung goose chase and how it basically added nothing to the story, as Rich Evans at Red Letter Media said, or at least one of those guys at Red Letter Media said in their Half in the Bag review. of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. It was basically that it didn't add anything to the story. That you can't just all right, and that's one of the things that I think you just have to acknowledge about The Last Jedi. There's too many things in there that just don't add with the actual story. At least with the prequels, with everything that it had, all of its flaws, everything in it coincided at the end. Everything in it was a part of the story. Jar Jar, yeah, he was the comic relief, but at least he did something towards the end. He actually, fought. He became a general. Yeah, he fucked shit up in a very slapstick way, but he was still, he was fighting. He was helping, he was helping the Gungans kick ass. So it's just like, yeah. So it was just, I mean, come on. Alright, and in this movie, Finn goes on an adventure which coincides with the plot with Poe on the Radis, to where they're trying to find a code breaker. And on that journey, Finn and Rose talk about the evil people on the rich planet, save an animal, don't bother freeing the slave labor, and then nothing else comes of it. Like literally, they find the code breaker through some dumb luck. That wasn't even the code breaker that they were looking for, which is also kind of weird in that sense. It's like there was that wasn't even the guy they were looking for, but they found him anyway, even though they were in jail too. And then they go to the supremacy to knock out the tracker, and then that fails, and nothing else comes of it. That's it. That was it.
To territory he should not be in, doing something that seems to be a useless, aimless, and partially failed endeavor.
That's basically
By
what
the
it
end, you
is.
find out it was just as important as everything else that has happened. Even though they failed to get the help of the Codebreaker, this whole excursion was not a waste of time because they ran into this young Jedi kid and showed him and his friends that the Resistance is real and not just the stuff of their action figure legends. This random little thing that happened in the scene that everyone thought was useless could be a very important piece of Star Wars history. And the fact that it happened organically or accidentally, like they just stumbled into him, that makes this whole moment all the more believable.
No, it doesn't. Okay, one of the reasons that people didn't like what happened with Luke and well, not with Luke, with Anakin in the prequels was that it just came out of nowhere. Like they just happened to land on Tatooine and oh, we found Anakin. Like really, that was one of the big things about the Phantom Menace that people just did not like, that they just managed to find Luke there. They just not Luke, Anakin. They just managed to find him. All right, that was pretty dumb. Top that off, in this movie, they don't bother freeing the kids. You think they're just gonna go back there to find those kids? You think JJ is going to put the time and effort in to have those kids become a part of the major story when they don't even bother giving them more than 2 minutes of fucking screen time? Are you kidding me? Okay, that scene is useless and for more than one reason, alright? And I know a lot of people tried to find the other point is that, they're trying to help fight with the resistance, okay? Alright, I'm okay with that. But they don't, one, they don't bother freeing the kids. And two, we find out that they're force sensitive, but they don't find out they're force sensitive. So basically it's just like, why even bother showing us those kids if they're not going to, be a part of the bigger thing, considering they also have freaking force abilities? Are you freaking kidding me right now? You're seriously defending that scene for the missed opportunities that it had? Right, that scene was one levy of missed opportunity. Alright, now I would have been much more okay is if they were trying to go to Canto Bight, end up getting stranded somewhere along the way, and end up finding those kids who have been surviving in the woods for who knows how long. And then through that, they developed their force abilities. Like they were able to use the force and they didn't know about it. All right, that would have been a much better idea. And then have the kids come with, and have them actually help out a little bit when it comes to certain things. Like instead of having Rey be the Deus Ex Machina towards the end of the movie, have those kids through combined strength, as Vader once said, lift those boulders and help the resistance escape while Luke is stalling. You know, alright, that could be a cherry picked example, but whatever. Okay, my point is, the entire sequence of Canto Bight was just, it was just virtues. It was just virtue signaling everywhere. And it hurt my head watching it in the theater because it didn't make any sense to me. Alright? Hearing Rose say free the seeing Rose free the animal and say that's what makes all the destruction worth it, that made me internally cringe. I cringed watching that. Alright, that part was terrible for more than one reason. It did not only did it not flow with things that we have seen in the Star Wars universe, it just didn't make any freaking sense in the context of the universe. Like, like, and like, here's something that would work in the context of, the Star Wars universe. The not the Wookiees, the freaking Hutts, or some criminal organization having these kids. You can have an actual decent, connection with some things that happened, alright? But only in a literal historical context, not in a all capitalists are evil and you should give everybody our money stuff type of thing. All right, that's one of the things I just absolutely hate. I just absolutely hate that crack. So, basically, the entire sequence on Canto Bight was a missed opportunity, not only for the things that he is defending, but basically for everything. Okay, that point took out that point that plot point. If it didn't take out so much time, the movie would have been at least 2 hours long. The movie would have been at least 2 hours long. But plus that point, it made the movie longer than it had to be. That's one of the reasons people just don't like it, because it dragged on the running time. It was just there for filler. That was the entire point. Now there are some films that can get away with it, like Jurassic Park, where you having a bunch of stuff with the dinosaurs, right? Because but the movie is about dinosaurs. The movie isn't about uh, money, 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 money every day. That's not the point of it. The point about Star Wars is big epic space battles. It's about the hero's journey. It's about all of these different things. And I think Rian Johnson just, lost that type of levity when he started filming this. Okay, I'm gonna stop it here. I'm really tired, and I'm just like, I just wanted to get this part over with. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We're now at 11 minutes into this, and it's not getting any better. So see you guys later. Don't die.